On 19th July 2023, Guernsey Post issued 4 stamps with the theme of regional stamps. In the last episode, we discussed the first 2 stamps in the set. Now, let's talk about the remaining 2 stamps, which feature the regional stamps issued from 1958. If you haven't watched my last episode, I recommend doing so first. As I mentioned before, the Channel Islands Liberation stamps served as predecessors to the regional definitive stamps. The requests for issuing regional stamps faced numerous challenges. In those days, the official view regarding the issuance of new stamps was highly conservative. Regional stamps had the potential to fuel nationalism aspirations and encourage separatist tendencies. On the other hand, Great Britain was noted for the simplicity and dignity of its postage stamps. The additional symbolic emblems could destroy the simplicity of the stamps. But the demands of regional stamps continued to exist in the 1930s and 1940s. In addition to the requests from the Channel Islands, in 1937, Northern Ireland proposed its own regional stamps to the General Post Office, and surprisingly was refused. Another request came from the Isle of Man in 1939. The design was based on the 1931 Gibraltar 1-penny stamp, with the Manx coat of arms replacing the rock. The request was turned down as well. The issuance of the Channel Islands Liberation stamps encouraged some additional requests, such as the Isle of Man made another proposal in 1951, and Scotland began to make such demands, but faced strong oppositions. But starting in 1956, the General Post Office began to compromise and explore the feasibility of issuing regional stamps. Simply put, the proposal was finally adopted. In July of that year, the Queen approved it. Initially, the Post Office was going to issue 2.5 pence, 4 pence, and 1 shilling 3 pence stamps for Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and 2.5 pence stamps for Jersey, Guernsey, and the Isle of Man. The stamps were required to be designed based on the Welding series, which began in 1952. The Queen's portrait, taken by Doris Day Welding, was to be used as the dominant feature, and all the stamps should have the same size as those in the Welding series. Artists could only create designs on the borders of the stamps. Subsequently, the countries or regions started to make design plans. In this episode, I will mainly discuss the design of Guernsey regional stamps. For the stamps of other 5 countries or regions, I recommend you check out a video from the channel Coins, Stamps and Collectibles. A committee was formed in Guernsey to discuss the design plans. They suggested to use 2 elements to represent the history and culture of Guernsey. They are Guernsey lily and William the Conqueror. The Guernsey lily is the national flower of Guernsey, similar to the rose for England and the sisal for Scotland. The Guernsey lily has also been featured on coins. William the Conqueror is the ancestor of the modern royal family. He held the title of Duke of Normandy before conquering England. The Duchy of Normandy included the Channel Islands, so William the Conqueror was firstly the ruler of Guernsey and then the King of England. The committee suggested using the crown of William the Conqueror from the silver penny of William I to symbolize the connection between William I and the Queen, and his war cry should be incorporated into the design. But later, the idea of including the words were dropped, as they might confuse foreign administrations as to the country of origin, not shown on British stamps. Furthermore, the words postage and revenue are always on the welding definitive stamps because they can be used to pay both postage and stamp duty. The word revenue was omitted from the design of Guernsey regional stamps because Guernsey issued its own revenue stamps for use on the island. Although these regional stamps could be used throughout the UK and other Crown dependencies, the primary use was expected to be in Guernsey. Therefore, the word revenue was omitted to avoid any potential confusion. In addition, the artists can choose whether to include the Queen's Royal Cipher ER on the stamps. In summary, the wedding portrait, the crown, the flower, the Royal Cipher, and the word postage, the denomination, and the color are the elements the artists need to work around. 5 artists were invited, and 14 pieces of artworks were received. I didn't find any pictures regarding the designs besides of the result stamps, but I found some descriptions. What follows are some improved design from my imagination. In some of the designs, the face value was too small or unclear. Some artists included the word revenue in the designs, and one artist added a pictorial element that was not admissible. Additionally, in some designs, the crown was shown above the photo of the queen when she was wearing a coronet. This arrangement on some colonial stamps had been criticized because the queen could not wear both a crown and a coronet. 3 of 4 designs by Eric Piprio were recommended by the committee. The resulting stamp designed by Piprio looked like this. It was issued on 18th August 1958 alongside regional stamps from 5 other countries. The face value was raised to 3 pence, as the basic letter rate had increased by a half a penny in 1957. In 1964, a 2.5 pence stamp was issued for the postcard rate, based on another design by Eric Piprio. As the postage rate rose again in 1965, 4 pence stamps were introduced in 1966. First and second class post was introduced in 1968, and more 4 pence stamps and 5 pence stamps were issued accordingly, based on the original design by Piprio. Basically, there are 2.5 pence stamps, 3 pence stamps, 5 pence stamps, and 3 different colors of 4 pence stamps. There can be more than 6 types of Guernsey regional stamps depending on how serious you are. Compared with other regional stamps, Guernsey's design was the simplest and best reflects the characteristics of British stamps at that time. Since the release of those stamps, there have been complaints about the complexity of the design, but I don't think those complaints concern the Guernsey stamps. On 1st October 1969, Guernsey gained postal independence. In principle, the stamps of UK couldn't be used on the island, but there was a buffer period. The regional stamps of Guernsey and other UK stamps remained valid to use as postage until the end of March 1970. In the UK, the regional stamps of Guernsey continued to be valid until 29 February 1972, as it was the last valid date of pre-decimal stamps. The elements of William the Conqueror and Guernsey Lily were also included on Guernsey's first set of stamps since their postal independence, which again reflects the significance of these elements. Turning our attention back to the stamps issued this year, there are 2.5 pence stamps, 3 pence stamps, and 4 pence stamps featured on these 2 stamps. The information including the designer Eric Piprio is clearly displayed on the stamps. These stamps are also cancelled by first day issue postmarks. In terms of the face value, £1.86 is for small parcel within the bailiwick of Guernsey, and £4.38 is for small parcels to the UK. I believe the face values of the 4 stamps symbolize the connection between Guernsey and the UK. I think these 4 stamps have indeed been carefully designed, and let's also take a look at this beautiful first day cover. It features the map of Guernsey, Bracing, a postmark, and the Guernsey Lily themed first day issue cancellation. Well done, Guernsey Post! You have issued wonderful stamps that caught my attention and allowed me to learn more. Hope you have learned more with me as well. And for more information, please check the links in the description. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and follow me on social media if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.